Now, I got to ask you, Dr. Drew, you went through a similar thing that Joe Biden is currently going through. I'm of a different, but real quick, I'm of a different opinion. If he did have cancer, I think it would be a national security risk to tell people, and I think that there would be a reason to hide it if a sitting president had a terminal illness like this. Now, what is your opinion, and how long do you think that they have known about this?
It's almost impossible to tell with any real accuracy because they've been so obscure. They've obfuscated so much. They've BS'd so much for so long about his medical care, about his neurological condition, about his cognitive state. I talked to Nicole Sapphire today at length, and we just both agreed it's almost impossible to tell what is going on here. But equally as impossible to believe is that a sitting president of the United States was not being monitored normally and normally screened for prostate cancer. That's insane. You know, my buddy Adam Carolla has a saying, stupid or liar. So one or the other, or both. Either bad medical care or they're lying about what happened here. Now, in terms of it being a national security risk, I don't know what we're supposed to do with presidents that are impaired. Don't we deserve to know that? Don't we have somebody else is going to be in charge? There's a chain of command. Don't you want to know who's taking care of the country?
Well, of course I do, but it's like, that's if we're not living in reality. We know in reality that there's a lot of stuff that they don't tell us of what's really going on. So that's why it's just, I wouldn't put it past him for the president to lie about something like that. But I heard you just recently on a podcast talk about this sort of cancer, this prostate cancer, that if we live to 100, we're automatically going to get it, and that we're all just pre-cancerous, we're pre-prostate cancer victims currently?
Yeah, don't get too screwed up by that. Okay. It's just simply the case that if you were to biopsy 100-year-old men, prostate, you'd find prostate cancer in the vast majority of them. But certain prostate cancers can be aggressive, like President Biden. Mm-hmm. This is what happens if you don't screen. The cancer gets away from you. And it is something that is highly treatable in today's world. We've got all kinds of treatment. I'm part of an organization called the Prostate Cancer Foundation. If you remember, you may be too young for this, but Michael Milken showed up with prostate cancer 30 years ago and was told he had 6 months to live. And he said that can't be possible. We've got to do a better job. And he has funded and sort of shepherded this organization ever since. And now we sort of sit at the hub of the spokes of the prostate cancer research world. And the fact is, there's a ton we can do. Everybody should be screened after the age of 50. Every president should be screened every year. And this may have happened. Maybe they did screen him, and maybe they're lying about the fact that they started treatment on him earlier. I don't know.
Well, Dr. Drew, and I know you've given a lot of prostate exams. Is that correct?
We don't do prostate exams. That is correct, but we don't even do them anymore. We do blood tests.
That's how you tell?
Simple blood.
Well, but the reason why I asked that is because I'm not anti-gay. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I have a lot of gay pride. I just want to make that clear. I love the Cowboys, so obviously I'm not. But I'm afraid to go have a man do that to me, Dr. Drew. I'm not even kidding. I'm afraid to go get checked. I really am.
They're not going. First of all, how old are you?
I'm 38, but I don't like to talk about that. I'm an ageist.
Do you have a first-degree relative with prostate cancer?
Yeah, my grandfather had it.
Okay. How old was he when he got it? Do you know?
I think he was in his 60s, but he died from it. He died from it in the early 70s.
So you're going to want to start getting a blood test every year in your 40s. Not a digital rectal exam, a simple blood test. No one's going to put their finger inside of you. That's not going to happen. Okay. You don't need to do that. That's why, by the way, when they said Biden, we found a nodule. What? I found a nodule? How did you find a nodule? Were you doing digital rectal exams and not PSAs? Or did he have an MRI? Or when he had a CAT scan after his episode of COVID, did they see metastatic disease then? There's so many questions that they need to answer that they have not and have been. I mean, I do not believe that President of the United States should be subjected to the same HIPAA standards as the rest of us. Much like if I were to see somebody climbing into the flight deck of an airplane I'm on with 300 other people, and they look impaired to me, I'm obliged, in my opinion, to speak up about this and for us to know what the hell's going on. And that's exactly what the deal is here.
No, I agree with you. I do that for women pilots, and they're not even impaired. Okay.
I'm going to slow your roll, Alex. Wait a minute. So we have sexism, we have racism, we have homophobia. I think you've run the cycle now.
I think
We're
so.
good.
I think so. If there anyone, we haven't played the Kanye West song yet. Are we going to do the Kanye West? No, I'm kidding.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself